What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to Modality Monday. I just want to start this Modality Monday off by saying thank you to God, thank you to my family, thank you to my friends, thank you for everyone that tunes in to watch these. I appreciate the energy and the love so much. You know how we're going to get started? Cheers to your love, cheers to your health, and cheers to your wealth. So today's Modality Monday is going to be about the plant-based diet, the vegan diet, whatever you want to call it, and how it's benefited my life, how I've seen it benefit other people's lives. Now, someone that's been a two-sport college athlete, been an athlete my whole life, I can say that right now, in this moment, this is the healthiest, this is the most in shape I've been my whole life, and that is due to the Kangen water you hear me talk about all the time, but also the plant-based vegan life that I've been living. So, I'm not someone that's going to sit here and say, don't eat meat. Like, if you eat meat and it works for you and you're getting it from a healthy source, then do what you got to do. I just see how the majority of the meat is produced specifically in this country. The animals are going to these factories and they're getting tortured to death, they're getting brutalized to death, and then they're pumped with a bunch of hormones and chemicals. And if you're eating this meat that right before it died, it was in a state of terror, you're taking on that energy. And people are trying to figure out why they're walking around manically depressed with all this anxiety because you are what you eat. These animals are getting slaughtered in inhumane ways. And we know this is true. There's all these documentaries out on it now, all the information, it's always in the news. And all you gotta do is just tap in, you know? And I think that I see a lot of people say too that they can't be vegan, like they're vegetarian because they can't give up the dairy, they can't give up the cheese. What people need to understand is that milk, that dairy, that cheese is the most inflammation causing substance that you can put in your body. And you look what happens when we're giving, or people give babies milk all the time, right? And then they get all this snot, they get the bubbles, they're just always just all this mucus. Why? That's because of the milk. And I say all this to say that it can be done. Like I'm on my 3-year mark of being vegan, and my skin is glowing. I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. And people always ask, where do you get your protein from? Like, how are you vegan? And I look at them and I'm like, how are you still eating meat? How are you still eating the diet that you're eating? It's something that you learn. You learn to eat like that. So if you want to better your health, if you want to live a plant-based diet, you're going to learn what works for you. And now people always ask, where are you getting your protein from? And the big thing that people need to understand is that as human beings, we don't live off of protein. We live off of electricity, we live off of oxygen, and we live off of water. So if you look at plants and vegetables, they have electricity in them, they have water in them, and they have oxygen in them, right? So if you're eating those on a consistent basis, you're gonna be in a good place with your health. And then the protein question all the time, where you're eating your protein, back to that protein thing. I look at the 3 strongest animals in the world. The 3 strongest animals in the world are an ox, are a gorilla, and an elephant. And they eat plants and vegetables all day long. So if I look at that, then I'm in a pretty good place. Again, been a 2-sport college athlete. This is the best shape I've been in my life due to this plant-based diet, due to the plant-based eating, And I think it's important to understand that with all these alternatives out there now, the oat milk, the almond milk, the coconut milk, you really don't need to be drinking milk anymore. It's filled with pus, it's filled with all types of bacteria that they don't tell you about. And I don't know if people remember the Got Milk campaign a few years ago where they were using all these famous Olympic athletes and they had the milk mustaches and they were just trying to really promote drinking milk. What athlete do you know that's drinking milk before they go and perform their sport? None of them. Why? Because they'd be throwing up all over the place if they did, because milk's so inflammatory and it's so bad for you. I had a friend, and people ask me, how did I start off being plant-based? You want to slowly work your way into it. I have a friend, my best friend, him and his girlfriend, they saw how I changed my diet and how I was moving, right? So what they did was 1 week out of the month, they would cut dairy out of their diet. And my boy hit me up. And he's like, yo, every time, every week that we don't have dairy, I feel amazing. And I'm like, Blake, if that 1 week you feel amazing, why don't you just keep doing it? And now they're at a point where they're not consuming any dairy because of how it makes them feel. And another thing is, I can talk about being plant-based, I can talk about vegan, I can give you all the science, all the facts behind it, but realistically, you have to see what works for your body, right? And I know that, and again, I have friends that, are plant-based and vegan, and they don't eat the healthiest, and they're still in a better place of health than people that are eating the dairy all the time and consuming meats nonstop. We've been programmed to eat meat 3 times a day. We've been programmed, as kids, to get up and have that bowl of cereal. And the reason I'm so passionate about it and speak on this is because I grew up eating cereal. I grew up drinking the milk, and you get tired of being played. You get tired of the game. And with so many options, with the truth really coming to light nowadays, you can make the decision to better your health. You can make the decision to be in a better place of health by simply, going on the internet and seeing what works for you, seeing what works for other people. The plant-based diet has been amazing to me. I'm not taking in all this flesh anymore. I'm not taking in all the toxins that are in the meat. And it's been amazing. It's been pretty life-changing. I see people that have been vegan for 10 plus years. I see people that have been plant-based literally their whole life. People that have born not eating meat, and they're completely functionable. Their health is better than people that are consuming meat all the time. And I just want to put awareness on this and talk about it, because there's ways to better yourself. And people always make fun of me, some of my friends, when I tell them that I'm vegan or I'm plant-based, but it's really been life-changing, and it's really been one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I just wanted to give you guys a little input, a little bit of the journey that I've had with being plant-based and vegan, and talk about what you can do to better your life. If you have any questions or want to know more, or how I did it, or what steps I took to start, please feel free to hit me up. I'm big into love, I'm big into health, I'm big into wealth, and I just want to see everybody win. So I hope everyone has a great rest of their Monday. I hope everyone has a great week, and let's live our dreams, people. Peace and love. Bless.